This video is going to be on Farmall H 3-point hitch and how it's hooked into the belly pump on the tractor. There's a cylinder, and it just has one hose going from it, and then it has a vent, and this hose goes to the second spot right there. There's two elbows coming out of the belly pump for the tractor, and that one hooks into the second one. And because there is no down pressure, you just need one hose, and then all that does is just lift it up, and that's basically it. You can just pick up the hitch. And how this belly pump works is this rod right here, and to lift it up you would pull it all the way out, and that would lift the hitch up. And then if you have it set on that notch right there, that is just sort of not a float, but like just keeps it there, it holds it up. And then if you drop it down like that, that lowers it. And if you look right the side of the tractor here, there's the fill for the belly pump. I believe this also goes to the belly pump, and I know this goes to it. This is for the valve. And then I think this is the reservoir for the belly pump. Only holds like a gallon, so it's not necessarily the best system, but you just unscrew this. There's a dipstick in there. Right here is a dipstick, and that tells you the level to fill it at. Okay, I'll show you how it works, because I had a question about how it was wired in. Okay, there it goes. It's in neutral. And then turn on the gas. But it works with just one hose and that breather. You need that breather there. If you leave a plug in there, it will blow the plug out, or it will blow the seal out of the cylinder, depending on the plug. The plastic plugs usually just blow out, from what I understand. But you just have a breather. We have a 90-degree elbow here, and then the breather so it faces down. But how this works is with the cylinder down, you can see the cylinder is completely down there, and then that doesn't do anything, but once you pull it out, it will lift up. So when it's out like that, it lifts up. Now that right there, there's a little notch to hold it there, and that just holds it up. And then when you want to lower it, you take and you push the rod in. You push this part, and it just lowers. So out is lift, that is hold, and then that lowers it. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple system there. And it does lift quite a bit, the belly pump. I'm not sure how big that cylinder is, but this hitch will lift quite a bit. It'll pick the front of the tractor up off the ground. Not just barely, it picks the front of the tractor up off the ground. And as you can see, there's two. I already showed this, but it's the second one toward the rear of the tractor. And that just goes right to the cylinder. And I don't think there's any filter or anything in that belly pump. So it's just a sealed system. And there's no filter, no cooler. It's just a valve with a pump and a little reservoir. So there's not really a lot to it. That's why a lot of people add a hydraulic pump. Like, I'm not sure exactly how you'd add one here, but I think you can add one right up here. That would, off of M, or a Super C I think has one. And I believe it would bolt to here. Not sure, you'd need to research that. But some people add them to the start here, crank start. They'll get rid of the spring and they'll make the start always engaged. And they'll just mount a little hydraulic pump. And people will also add them to the PTOs. To either this PTO on the side here, or some people add them right there. Which, if I were to do one, it'd probably not be the back PTO. PTO on the back kind of limits you if you take that one up. I could add it to this belt right here. I think that goes up to the alternator. But that's how the factory system works. And as far as adding a reservoir to it, you can't really do anything like that. There's no way to do that I know of. And you can't really add an oil cooler. So it's a limited system, you can't do much with it. But if you leave it in the factory form, it seems to work pretty good. So that's basically how this system works here. And as far as the hitch goes, this 3-point hitch, because I have another video on this, and this is the second hitch we had to put on this tractor. The first one bent, that rod right up here was a smaller hitch, and the rod right across here bent. But this hitch has been holding up really well. We've got this bucket for it, and this digs pretty well. Lifts up quite a bit. And this hitch can definitely handle the weight of the tractor, because you can push the whole weight of the tractor against this hitch and it has no problem handling it. There's a drawbar spot right there, and here is the drawbar. It's a thick steel drawbar. I'm gonna grind that off eventually, I think. There's a piece of rod welded across here, and I drilled that hole there. But from the factory it came with a hole there, and a hole there, and then that rod right there. And it had a support from the factory. It came down, and that just kind of was a pain to deal with. It had a support that was just a rod that would go from here down under the drawbar and then to there. And I think that got caught on a tree or something and got ripped off. I'm not really sure where that went, but I know that that wasn't really the best idea for a tractor like this, for one that's in the woods. I think a better idea would have been to weld a chain right here and have it so you could clip it up, because this tractor seems to get caught on a lot of stuff. But from the factory, that drawbar right there, if you had the drawbar on the tractor, you could not use any standard implements, because the drawbar stuck out past the end of the arms. It stuck out like right to the end, just a little bit past it, I think. So if you went to put an implement on here, any regular implement, like this one right here, all this would hit, that would probably hit right there. I know this would hit for sure, the little latch. So that wasn't necessarily the best design from the factory there. But it mounts right up to the axles. And I showed this in the other video, but those mounting bolts have been tight still. Everything's been holding up pretty well. I'm not sure what size Zerk fittings those are, or what size you're supposed to put in there, because I can't find any that will match that. so I'm not really sure what to do there. But yeah, it's been holding up pretty well, as everything's really thick on this hitch. Adds a ton of weight to the back of the tractor. So if you are going to go with one of these hitches, you should probably put some ballast in the front tires or on the front, because this definitely lightens the front of the tractor a lot.